The unbelievable survival of Mary Vincent. Some stories are too disturbing to forget. Some crimes go beyond comprehension. And sometimes, just sometimes, a single voice rises from the darkness and refuses to be silenced. This is one of those stories. In the fall of 1978, Mary Vincent was just 15 years old. She wasn't a troublemaker, just a teenager with big dreams and a complicated home life. She loved dancing. She loved movement. She wanted to be a performer, to live a life filled with music and spotlight. But tension at home became too much. After an argument with her parents, Mary packed a bag and made the decision to leave Las Vegas. She was heading to her grandfather's house in California, hoping to find some peace. But with no money and no ride, she did what thousands of young people did in that era. She stuck out her thumb and began hitchhiking. It was a hot September day when she stood alongside Interstate 5, the highway buzzing with traffic and danger. A blue van pulled over. The man behind the wheel looked old enough to be her father. He smiled, gently, said his name was Lawrence Singleton. He spoke softly, told her he understood what it meant to be a parent, even mentioned he had a daughter her age. He seemed safe, kind, trustworthy. Mary hesitated at first. 2 other hitchhikers declined to ride with him, but she was tired, sweaty, alone. So she got in. It was a decision that would change her life forever. At first, everything seemed fine. They talked, made small talk. But as the miles passed, Mary noticed something wasn't right. Singleton wasn't following the route she expected. He was veering off course, ignoring signs, ignoring her questions. Then she sneezed. Singleton reached over to touch her neck, supposedly to check if she was sick, but it didn't feel right. Her stomach turned. Something was off. She knew it. When they stopped at a gas station, she tried to flee, but fear held her back. She didn't want to upset him. Later, they stopped in a secluded area. Singleton claimed he needed to relieve himself. Mary stepped out too, and that's when he struck. Out of nowhere, he beat her with a sledgehammer. He tied her up, raped her repeatedly inside the van. The horror was just beginning. When he was done, Singleton did something no human should ever imagine. He dragged her to the edge of a ravine, pulled out a hatchet, and with monstrous force, he chopped off her left arm, then her right, her body in shock, blood spraying, her limbs severed. She screamed, but he wasn't done. He shoved her down a 30-foot ravine, left her there, bleeding, naked, alone. He thought she would die. He wanted her to die, but Mary Vincent refused. Through unimaginable agony, she stayed conscious. She packed her arm stumps with dirt and mud to stop the bleeding. She grit her teeth and crawled. Then she walked. 3 miles, in the dark, through gravel and pain and fear. She walked until a couple on their honeymoon saw her on the roadside, this blood-covered, barely alive girl stumbling through the California dusk. They picked her up, got her help, and Mary Vincent survived. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. She didn't just survive, she fought back. At the hospital, doctors were stunned. Her will to live was like nothing they had ever seen. And when law enforcement arrived, Mary didn't hesitate. She described Singleton in detail, his face, his voice, his van. And when the trial began, Mary Vincent, just 15 years old, took the stand. With bandaged arms and unbreakable strength, she stared him down and told the world what he had done. Lawrence Singleton was convicted. But justice didn't last long, because at the time, California law capped his sentence at just 14 years. He served only 8 years for rape, mutilation, and attempted murder. The public was outraged. When Singleton was released, no town wanted him. Protesters followed him. Residents formed human blockades. He had to live in a trailer on prison grounds because no neighborhood would accept him. And Mary? She kept going. She learned to live with prosthetic arms. She found comfort in art, creating powerful works that processed her trauma and told her story in color and shape and texture. She became an advocate, a voice for victims, and her case changed the law. The Singleton Bill was passed in California, ensuring that violent criminals who inflicted extreme bodily harm would not be eligible for early release due to good behavior. It was justice, delayed but delivered. But Singleton's evil didn't end with Mary. Years later, in 1997, he murdered another woman, Roxanne Hayes, in Florida. He was sentenced to death and died in prison. And still, Mary Vincent stood tall. She never asked to be famous. She never wanted her pain to be public. But she chose to tell her story, to use her voice, to help others survive. Mary's story is not just a true crime case. It's a testament to human resilience. It's a reminder that instincts are powerful, that courage is contagious, that justice must be fought for, and that no matter how dark the world becomes, there are people like Mary Vincent who rise, bleed, fight, and survive. So when you hear her name, don't just think about what she lost, remember what she gave us. A reason to believe in strength, a reason to demand justice, and a story the world will never forget.